Hey guys! Today I was thinking we could talk about books, and then I mean of course Harry Potter books. I have 3 shelves with Harry Potter books, or Harry Potter items at least. So we'll start on the bottom here, is where I keep the big book, my DVDs and coloring books. We'll start on the end here. I have the illustrated versions of Philosopher's Stone and Chamber of Secrets. The books are illustrated by Jim Kay, meaning you can read the story and there will be drawing related to the story. They are quite beautiful, and Jim Kay has this special way of drawing, and I think it fits really well with the story. So yeah, I like them, and yeah. Next thing in here is the film wizardry, which is about like behind the movie, how they made the movie, it's drafts of costumes and setups and everything. I love to learn about how they made the film, what they were thinking, and how the process were to make the film. So I find it really interesting. It also has some paper props, like the things that they made for the film, like the Hogwarts letter for Harry is in this, the invitation for the jewel ball, Marauders map, this kind of things are in the book. So yeah, next book is a pop-up book with, well, it kind of explains itself. You can open it and things will pop up from the pages, like Diagon Alley and Hogwarts and Hagrid's hut, yeah, all kind of things. These aren't like complete story. It's short things here with text where they will talk about how they made the film. Like in this one, they talk about the chess play and the moves, how they made the pieces move and everything. And this one is about this, as you can see, where he was to steal the golden egg. And yeah, so it's like behind the scenes, but with pop-up. So I love it. It's kind of different than like the regular book. So I think it's really fun. Next book is the Artifact Vault. There are different vault books, like the Creature Vault, Character Vault, and Artifact Vault and so. And I love those kind of things, like I already said. It's about how the artifacts are made, and drawings and pictures, and like what were they thinking when they read the book, like what is this thing, how does it look. And for me, who like make my own things, this is golden. So yeah. The last big book is The Case of Bees, which is like lots of the other books here, about like behind the scenes, how they made the movie, but about the new movie, Fantastic Beasts, and where to find them. This is from Mina Lima. I bought it there, so it's signed by the creators, which is extra fun, and it has folders in them with different props or so yeah. And it has really cool looking cover, and like you open the case, so yeah, it's nice. At the end here is DVDs. You can probably tell that this is a lot more than 8 movies. It's because it's 16. At the end over here is the original one. It's the ones I bought as they came out, and they have the Norwegian title because they came in Norwegian first. So yeah. And then over here I have the English one, and they are new. Is the 2-disc special edition, meaning it's one disc with the movie and one disc about like bonus features, how they made the movie, as you already know. I love those kind of things. So yeah, I still have the plastic on the last last one because I got the original one with 2 discs, but I wanted like the set of them, so I bought all 8. So I watched the 4th part, like the moment I got them, I was like, I'm gonna watch it tonight, and I did. So yeah. At the end is coloring the books, which had pictures from the movie, and then you can color them in, like I have done on this one. I'm not done because I want it to be perfect and I don't have the colors for it, but it's really nice to color. Like this one, I worked on this when I was watching these movies. I was like coloring and looking because I've seen the movie before, I know what's gonna happen, so it's like nice to have something on the side and just relax. So yeah, I have this one, which is the first one that came out with scenes from the movie, and then I have one about Fantastic Beasts and one which is magical places and characters, which is locations from the Harry Potter universe and characters from the universe. So yeah, that is the one shelf. Moving up to my second shelf. First thing here is a notebook, still in the plastic, because I can't decide what to put in here. I kind of have a tendency to like start on a notebook and then like a quarter into the book I'm like, oh, this is not what I wanted for it, and I'm just like, oh. So I want the idea to be like just right and I know what to fill up the pages with. At first I was thinking like a scrapbook, like tickets and receipts with Harry Potter things, but this book is quite new to me and all of my receipts are elsewhere. So yeah, so I'm like, oh, what can I do for it instead? So I was making like maybe like a journal. If I make something or do something Harry Potter related, I can put it in here, like a Harry Potter diary. So yeah, I don't know yet, so it's still in plastic. And then it's Screenplays. I have Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. So yeah, and then it's 7 books, which is the Norwegian edition of Harry Potter. As you might see, it's a bit different editions and design, because these, like the movie, I bought them when they came out. Well, not the first one, those were my parents or something who bought, because I was still a child. But yeah, so it's kind of frustrating because I like it when the books are like in the same height and same design. But I think also it has some charm because then I know it's because they came out, I bought them no matter what. So yeah. So these are my Norwegian ones. The English ones I bought a few years back. But like I was adult enough to know that I wanted them to be like in a set. So I bought the full set in English. So yeah, on the end it's just a little puzzle, which is a Quidditch World Cup 150 pieces puzzle, which I keep here because this page just wants to keep popping open, so I'm just like pushing it in with the puzzle. So yeah, top shelf is a little miscellaneous. It's not like a set, but we'll go through. To the left here is the new Scamander, a movie scrapbook. Again, behind the movie, what were they thinking when they made it, the process, early pictures, early drafts, and yeah, exciting things. Next book, not sure how to translate it into English, is like Harry Potter's, I don't have the word, but it's like magical or fairy tale like, adventurous, yeah, universe. Oh yeah. It's a Danish book, because I was in Copenhagen and I was in this thrift store thing and I saw this and I was like, it's about Harry Potter, I can get it and yeah, see what it is, because it's not the Harry Potter books, it's like a person who have written some theories or some questions and tried to link like the Harry Potter element to the real world, or just ask absurd questions like, how do you catch a unicorn? Is a basilisk really a snake? Yeah, so it's kind of weird, and I'm not sure if I want it or not, but it's a Harry Potter book, so I'm having it here. Maybe I'll just give it back to some thrift store at some point, but for now I'm having it here. Next thing in here is this one, which is a Norwegian book, and you know I already have a Norwegian book, but I got this for a particular evening. I was in Bergen where I was studying, and I only had my English book, but the student organization was having a Harry Potter night at the student house, something, I don't know what it's called in English, but yeah. And the man who translated the Harry Potter book from English to Norwegian was to come and talk about the process of translating, like Rowling made a lot of words like Quidditch, you know. How do you work to translate Quidditch into something in Norwegian when there is no precedence of it? So he talked about that. It was really exciting, and I got this book. I was like, on my way, I stopped by the bookstore, got this, and got there, because how could I walk away without having him sign the book? So yeah, it wasn't a lot of people who did that, so I was like, is that strange? But I grabbed my friend and like, we are getting that autograph. So he has signed the book right here. So it's really fun to actually meet the guy, because I read him in Norwegian first, so my way into the Harry Potter universe was through this man. So yeah, really fun. This one is the Harry Potter book in English. I had this idea of drawing elements from the story into the book, but I kind of put it aside because I don't think my drawing would be good enough for me to actually like the results, so now it's just an extra book, but yeah. And then there is the 20th anniversary edition of the book, which I talked about in my last movie. It's Quidditch Through the Ages, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, like the textbook, not the screenplay, but the textbook. And then is the, what is it called in English? Yes, The Tales of Biddle the Bard. I have it in Norwegian, so yeah, I'm thinking of getting it in English. I have like the set in English, so yeah. But for now I have it in Norwegian. I've read them all. They are kind of fun, because it's like a little extra to the universe, and you can really see the depth of J.K. Rowling's thought about the whole universe. So yeah. Next thing here is a pop-up gallery, which is not really a book per se. It's, you open and there's like a pop-up image, like in this one, about the Fantastic Beasts. And it's some text, but like mostly just for the picture. I think it's 5. And they have made it so you can have it like displayed on like your desk or on a shelf. Just have it open and you can like make sure it stays like that. But for now I just have it closed as a book. Yeah. And then there is the Montes book that I made few years back, 2 years, 1. I don't remember when, but yeah, it's just there for decoration basically. And then there is the travel book for me. It's the Philosopher's Stone, which is kind of worn and stained, because if I'm going somewhere I take this and put it in my purse so I have something to read, because yeah, I prefer to read than interact with people. So I have this, which is quite worn. And then there is my collection of books in foreign languages. So yeah, I try to get the editions that are in the original design from the country. So yeah, on the end here is not the original design. It's one of the designs that you can get anywhere. But I was at the bookstore and this was the only design they had. This is Danish, by the way. And I got the number 2 because Danish and Norwegian are quite similar and the title of the first book is kind of the same. So I took the number 2, which is slightly more different. So to enhance that is Danish and not Norwegian, it's the number 2, but every one of the others are the first one. So yeah, but it's a Danish one. I do have another Danish one because at the thrift store where I got this book, I also found the Harry Potter original cover. So I have 2 Danish ones. I'm not gonna throw away the others just because I got the other one. So it's the first one in the Danish original design. So yeah, it's kind of cool. And then is I'm just gonna take out 2 books. It's in German. I'm going Deutsch, but German. Harry Potter und der Steinerweisen in the German design. Like, I don't know all the original design, so I can't tell if it's like the actual original design, but at least it's different than what I've seen elsewhere, so I think it is. So yeah, the German one, and then there's just an English one because I have been to so many English speaking countries, so I was like, I'm gonna have one English one in my collection. So yeah. Next one is the Polish. I do not speak Polish, I'm not gonna try to pronounce it. This is the design that we have seen many places. The Norwegian ones were the same, but they were like this paper thing that you have around, but I read it so much, it was just torn and everything. Now just the boring red inside of it. Yeah. Poland. And then is French, which is also a design where you can get elsewhere, but all they had in the store. So yeah. Harry Potter, Le Cours de Sushi. Now, my French pronunciation is not... I can read a lot of words, but my pronunciation is not the best. But yeah, and you can see this one is a lot bigger than many of the others because French is so wordy. They use a lot of words to say something. So yeah, but it's kind of cool to see like the differences between the languages that way. The last one is the Finnish one, which I talked about in my last video with original design as well. Harry Potter, jag visst satt den skrivit. Still do not speak Finnish. So yeah, that is my Harry Potter bookshelf. I hope you found it interesting, and I'm curious to know what your bookshelves look like. Do you have this many, or am I just crazy? Yeah. I'm curious to know about your bookshelf. Do you, well, hoard books like I am? No. I'm curious to know what your bookshelves look like. Do you collect all kind of Harry Potter books, or do you stick to the one edition? Let me know in the comment below, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!